Hello, it's Brandon White, your local journalism initiative reporter for NBC Radio News here in La Ronge, northern Saskatchewan. Welcome to a cold -19 Remembrance Day in snowy La Ronge. Now, NBC had hoped to live stream today's events, but because of COVID, we had to make a small adjustment as northern Saskatchewan and Saskatchewan in general is seeing an increase in numbers at this time.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. In the past few weeks, we have seen now our highest case numbers to date here in Saskatchewan and in many other provinces across Canada as well. A couple of weeks ago, Dr. Shahab had stated that if we start to see new case averages over 60 cases a day or up to 120 cases a day for a sustained period of time, that we need to consider additional measures. Over the past week, Saskatchewan has averaged 76 cases per day. Therefore, on the recommendation of Dr. Shahab and his team, we are announcing two new measures here today. Effective this Friday, private gatherings in homes will be limited to no more than 10 people. Also starting this Friday in the cities of Saskatoon, Regina, and Prince Albert, where many of the recent new cases have been identified, mask usage is going to be mandatory in all indoor public places. These measures will be in place for 28 days and then will be reviewed again at that point in time.
Now, as a compromise, the La Ronge Legion and other organizers have changed this event to an outdoor event. Now, yes, it is cold. Yes, the wind and snow is blowing, but we are out here showing our solidarity, remembrance, and appreciation for those who went before us and made the ultimate sacrifice so that we could be living this life we are today.
Thanks for coming. We'll start officially in about a minute here.
Shaune Lapworth, President of La Ronge Branch 371.
We saw COVID-19 gathering limits force downsizing on the ceremony at the National War Memorial in Ottawa, and similarly, we had our own small gathering at the Cenotaph outside the town of La Ronge office. So, really quickly, could you just walk us through a little bit of the ceremony yesterday?
Okay, well, it was certainly an abridged ceremony. We wanted to make it brief because it was cold and not very, it was inclement.
Do you have anybody from Saskatchewan? Yeah. All taken care of. As long as we have 4 RCMP.
But at the same time, we also wanted it to be important because it has to be done. It's one of the most important functions of the Legion that day. It's a very important day for the Legion. So we wanted to make sure that we put our effort in. And so with the limitations to people that could attend, we certainly had to alter our usual plan. So normally we have the various clergy attend, and we're at that time indoors, so this had to be outdoors and minimize the people, so it was just Legion, and we had some color party there. As you saw, there was 4 RCMP, and then there was 4 others. They're actually rangers, but they're not supposed to be attending as official rangers, so they were actually ranger members, but they were in civilian attendance. That is Last Post, and it was played by Constable Zhang. This is her second year doing the trumpet for us. Last year was indoors, of course. She does a great job. She's got a lot of music skill. She was, of course, nervous, and the cold weather, she had to make adjustments for the cold weather, so we kept her inside at the town hall.
Oh, that's
and then, yeah, she was hiding back in the building just because the trumpet will freeze. So after O Canada, I had this to say. I said, Canada's involvement in the First and Second World Wars, the Korean War, and Canada's efforts during military operations and peace efforts has always been fueled by a commitment to protect the rights of others and to foster peace and freedom. Many Canadians have died for these beliefs, and many others have dedicated their lives to these pursuits. This willingness to stand up to protect human rights, freedom, and justice remains one of Canada's defining characteristics in the eyes of the world.
Why do you think it's so important to gather despite pandemic?
Well, life goes on with what we're going through with this pandemic. We have to continue living our lives, and part of that, it really should be a memory every day. We all have our own reasons to honor Remembrance Day. Maybe we have grandparents, parents, maybe we have son or daughter, maybe ourselves served at some capacity, and so to do one day out of the whole year, very important. And like I say, life has to go on with what we have to experience with the pandemic, and so we've got measures in place, and I don't think there was any risk for what we had to do, and off we went. We did it.
Who were the businesses or groups that sponsored the wreath laying, if I'm getting that correct?
What we do is the Legion has what's called a trust account, or a poppy fund account, and it can't be used for anything but support of veterans and veteran programs. So it doesn't go to pay our heating bill. It doesn't go to keep the lights on. Now the Legion certainly has some financial issues, but this money that we gather from poppy sales and from the sale of wreaths goes to the poppy account, and that goes, like I say, to help veterans and veterans' families and RCMP members.
First Nations radio station. I do know that there's a separate November 8th National Aboriginal Veterans Day. But then, as you say, some companies paying or helping pitch in for the wreaths and poppies are Keith and Al Group and the Lac Range Indian Band. So has there been any press to celebrate that day more officially in La Range, or do we kind of lump them in? And pardon me because I've been away from town for a bit.
Yeah, that day is very important, and so I at least got something up on the Facebook page. When this first came around, I first became president, and I'm reading and educating and figuring out all of my duties and roles here. I thought, wow, we definitely have to do that. Like you say, because we are a big First Nation community, lots of members here, that's certainly something that we really should make an honor of. I don't know of any other legions that make a separate celebration on Aboriginal Veterans Day. I've always intended, and I talked with Chief Tammy Cook-Searson about it, and we really just haven't done anything other than on the 11th. I'm certainly open to other suggestions, and I'm always in communication with Regina, who is our provincial command. I'm not going to say it's done and gone, but I'm hoping maybe next year I'm more on the ball and maybe with less restrictions, we could maybe do something, maybe on reserve with because there are some Aboriginal veterans in our community we don't make a big show of it, but if they would be up for something, maybe we could do a little on reserve service or something. And so we've got a good list. I can read it. I read it pretty quick because it's not about advertising, but at the same time, these businesses give us some money, and I think they need to be recognized for their support. And so I quickly read the list yesterday during the service. Do you want me to read that list?
Please, if that's okay.
So we have Aben Heating, Ace Hardware, Arrowhead Helicopters, Anderson Tire, Bargain Shop, Bedrock Electric and Plumbing, Canadian Rangers, Century 21 LaRange, Children North, Connexus Credit Union, LaRange Dairy Queen, Drifters Motel, Eagle Point, Elks, Electric Waves, Giant Tiger, Gordon Denny School, Harbor Pharmacy, Highmark Holdings, Home Store, J. Hordisky Contracting, JP Enterprise, Jam Auto, Keith and L Gas Bar, Keith and L Lumber, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Costas, Kustiak Trucking, Lac La Ronge Funeral Home, Lake Country Co-op, LA Interiors, Lakeshore Towing and Waste Management, LaRange Ambulance, LaRange and District Chamber of Commerce, LaRange Fire Department, LaRange Ice Wolves, LaRange Plumbing and Heating, LaRange Petroleum, LaRange RCMP, Lac La Ronge Indian Band, Little Rock Enterprises, NBC Radio, MacGyver's, Mayo Auto Clinic, Mid-City Electric, Northern Manual Therapies, Northern Lights School Division, Northlands College, Northwinds Bus Lines, North Sask Fire, True North Rentals, Osprey Wings, Patterson Geophysics, Penny's Hair Design, Precam Community School, Remax LaRange, Robertson Trading, Rona LaRange, Saskatchewan Health Authority, Senator Miles Van School, Speedy Autoglass, Town of LaRange, St. John Vianney Catholic Church, Transwest Air, United Church, Village of Arange, and Watt Agencies.
Wow.
Those businesses contributed, and some, the usual price for a wreath is $25. Some businesses have given more, and we appreciate all of that.